Welcome to Wild and Wise, where I dive into conversations with trailblazers in business, design, and creativity. Together, we'll uncover the wisdom and wild spirit behind their journeys, the stories, the struggles, and the sparks of inspiration that shape a curated life. Follow along on Instagram at WildXWisePod. Now let's dive into today's episode. Today, I am excited to speak with my dear friend Mal Hall, who is one of San Diego's leading comedians and about to take the nation by storm. Welcome, Mal.
Hey, thank you for having me.
You're very
It's good
welcome.
to be here.
It's good to have you.
Good to be here.
We met a few years ago when I was working with Adams Avenue Theater, and you were releasing your last special?
Yeah, the first one.
Tell us a little bit more about that experience.
So the first special that I shot was a half an hour special that my director and I just sort of conceptualized a couple of weeks before we shot it. Like, I'm going to be in Texas for 2 weeks with Angela Johnson, like in these huge, beautiful spaces. Like, let's try to shoot this set. And it was like a good half hour that I was doing that year. And so we're like, okay. And we just sort of pieced together this guerrilla style, like super artsy to me project where we stitched all 8 of these shows together into one 30-minute show and put it out on YouTube, and super proud of it. But that was a good first project, and I'm excited for the second one.
I feel like things have changed dramatically for you.
Yeah.
Not only in the way you perform, but also just in your notoriety.
Yeah.
I am going to your show on October 30th. In fact, my whole team is.
Let's go.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
Yeah.
So tell us kind of where things are at now, like what have big things happening.
Yeah.
So I think we should just get right to it.
So my first hour special comes out on October 21st, and I shot it last year at Lulu's at the Lafayette Hotel here in San Diego. Definitely a step up in everything, sort of production value. Definitely production value. I think I stand by all the jokes in the first special, but the jokes on this special, which is called What Are We Doing Today, are, super personal but relatable, and I think people are going to like this project. I think it's cool.
Well, I was there for the Lulu's filming with my former partner who also made your suit. And I think what's also beautiful is that you've included so many local creatives in the experience of what you're building.
Yeah.
From the production team being some local people that I also know and love, to the suit that you wore, to the space being local. I think there's something really beautiful about as you're coming up, you're bringing everybody with you.
Yeah, I think if you're an artist, it's hard already. It's just hard, period. I tell people all the time, being a comedian is my favorite job I've ever had, but it's the hardest job I've ever had. And so on a project like a special, it's like, it kind of behooves you. You're going to have to work with a team of people anyway. So why not work with people who either A, you've come up with, or B, are recommended to you by friends of friends who are local and who are also going to take ownership in the project. That was like the coolest part of What Are We Doing Today, is like, it's my baby that I've been writing and performing for almost 2 years when we shot it. But the show, like everything to do with the show, was almost as if like this baby was adopted by all these other people who were like not there just to do a job. Normally you hire a film crew, or you hire a director, or hire an editor, or whatever, and it's just like, like a gun for hire kind of thing. And this was like, all these people are getting paid, but a lot of them just believed in me and believed in the project. So it's like, they're not taking their full rate because they know, like, I'm paying for this out of my own pocket. So people are like, no, I believe in you in this project and I want to be a part of it. There's a lot of people that just wanted to be a part of it, which is like super humbling. Like, I felt very lucky, but I think that's why this project feels different releasing it than Ice Cream's Not Ready. Ice Cream's Not Ready was just me and my friend and my material. This is like a little community of people that I'm representing,
Yeah. I think that it's not only like the love that you give beyond the stage to people in your life that at least I've experienced and seen, but also I think that as San Diego grows up, those that are best at their craft we celebrate in such a grand way because we're still kind of a young city, right? So if we're in Chicago, New York, LA, there's a lot of you.
Yeah.
But here, even though there's incredible comedians, I think, at least in my opinion and my view, you are sort of somebody that's really taking things to the next level that we're all so excited. And you happen to also be like a wonderful and kind human being. So it makes it exciting as like a creative to be part of also just what you're doing for the city and like putting us on the map and, you know, making a name for comedy in San Diego.
That's very nice. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I am proud to be from here, though. And I definitely, you know, perform. I think I've been to almost every state. And you know, when I'm there, it's like from the beginning of my show, I'm like, I'm born and raised in San Diego, California. That's where I'm from. And this is like sort of my point of view, and welcome to my show. This is who I am. And like the material is very personal, but I definitely wear this city on my shoulder, and it's like
Your heart on your sleeve.
Oh yeah.
Hey. Who's the comedian now?
Yeah, you can have it. I'm not clocked in right now, so anything funny that I say is a bonus for us, because I'm really kind of like a nerd, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do feel very blessed, and I'm grateful to have so many people that believe in me and believe in the project.
Yeah, well, we're honored to have you here. Let's go back to your origin story. You've spoken a lot about coming up in a single parent household, which is another reason I think a lot of your content is very relatable. How has that experience shown up in your material and your approach to life?
I think now being a parent, it's like pretty clear, you know, how much your childhood affects who you are.
Yeah.
For better or for worse. And, you know, growing up in a single parent household is not the goal. It's not like, you know, the preferred childhood. But in certain situations, I would say mine being one of them, like if you're one parent that is there is wearing both hats and more, and like really doing the work, it's like, you know, being a parent is a selfless job, and to be a single parent with 4 kids is like super selfless. But for the kids not to really feel it and to be, I don't know, just encouraged to do whatever, like.
You weren't limited by the situation.
Yes.
She didn't like bring the limitations of her situation to your dreams, to your experience.
Right. Everyone got to do extracurriculars. Everyone got to do whatever. And, you know, we didn't see her busting her ass at 3 jobs to be able to afford to do it. And, you know, we didn't have the best of anything, but we were able to do kind of anything that we wanted. And so now that, you know, how that affects you as an adult is like, why are you complaining? Like, get your stuff together and make it happen. And I think that's like, as an artist, it's easy to be lazy. But I think when I started doing stand-up, I was going to Grossmont College here, and my mom was paying for a lot of my books and stuff. And like a year and a half into going to school is when I started doing open mics. And then I fell in love with comedy and basically quit school without telling my mom. And I was like driving to LA to do open mics, and then drive in Orange County same night. I would drive from San Diego to LA, do like 2 open mics, time it out so I could get to Orange County for an open mic, time it out so I could finish in San Diego at a late open mic. And I was doing that like 2 to 3 times a week.
Wow. While
working 2 jobs, like 2 or 3 part-time jobs, and not telling my mom that I wasn't going to school. So when she'd be like, how's school going? I'm like, it's good. But I was, you know, like I treated stand-up like it was school. So I was like, if I commit to this and work as hard as I can, then I'll be able to, it'll be worth it. Yeah. And so I think the hard work and determination was like something I learned from my mom indirectly. Yeah. I don't know. A lot of what she did growing up frames sort of my point of view with my stand-up. Although she wasn't funny, like we share some of the same point of view. Same things annoy us. And then that sort of shapes like the parent that I am. So the parent that I am is like 80% of what my mom is. And then so it allows me to contrast between how I parent my kids and how like my friends or like my generation parents. And that's where I'm finding a lot of the comedy right now. It's like just in this, like, oh my gosh, like the compare and contrast is the best. And it's endless comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's what was so relatable, was not only the sort of pivots at looking back at the way you were raised, because we're of the same age, so we were of the same generation in the same city, but also in being with a partner where we parented differently, and you were sort of like grabbing this moment of tension that is like but it's like it was so glorious because it was like even we could come together and really like die over like the situations and the observations that you made around this generation, the gentle parenting, the ridiculousness of being a parent in general. That I thought was really, again, I think great comedy is perspective and observation told in a different way that everyone can relate to.
I love that. I think, I mean, at least half of this special is parent related. And the thing that I'm most proud of in the hour is like, as I was touring the show, after the show, many people would come up and go like, I don't have kids, but I loved this, and this about the show, like all the parenting stuff. I still loved, and I write these parenting jokes with intentionally from a point of view of like how we were raised as opposed to how we're doing it now, because everybody was a kid. Everybody had, has a mom, has a dad, some of us have siblings. And so if the core of the joke is there, then it sort of frames it. So like, you don't have to be exactly in my shoes to like be able to laugh at this thing. And that's like accidentally stumbled into that little sort of magic ingredient. And now it's like, if I sprinkle enough of that on the parenting stuff, then everyone can enjoy it.
Yeah. There's relatability from a lot of different angles, which allows all audiences to participate.
Yes.
Let's talk a little bit more about touring.
Yeah.
It sounds like wildly exciting and horribly exhausting.
Yes.
I'm sure there's times that you're like, I can't believe I'm here. Like, this is something I've dreamed of. But, I'm a big believer that sometimes when we get to that place, we never could have dreamed of how draining, exhausting, overwhelming that dream is.
Yes.
I have this kind of visual that I often say is like, the balloon is very big that I have as my dreams get bigger, but yet the weight that needs to hold it down to remain steady becomes bigger. And therefore it's a weighted experience to have big dreams and to see those through. So tell us a little bit more about touring and who you tour with and what the experience is, both good, bad, and ugly.
So touring is awesome. I often tell people, I tell my friends, if you see me around a lot, I mean, stuff is not going good.
I love that.
If you don't see me a bunch, like if
you miss me,
yeah, exactly. If I'm not showing up to the things on the weekend, that's really good.
Daddy's doing
you should
good.
be happy. Yeah, but it is exhausting. So I've been touring with Angela Johnson Reyes, who's an executive producer on my special for over 10 years now, and it's like one of the best jobs you could have as a comedian, because coming up to like get booked on your own is like the hardest thing. And then to find a comedian or comedians who are established, who will bring you out so you can meet the right bookers or get, help you cultivate an audience and build a community is like also extremely hard, because it's so competitive. The business is so competitive.
Yeah.
And a lot of people think about the audience as like a kind of like a finite thing. It's very weird to me how people go like, these are my fans, as if people only have one comedian that they listen to or one band that they listen to. It's like, I mean, how many bands do we all love? Like, how many restaurants do you all love? You don't just go to like one place. It's like, I'm in the mood for this today.
Yeah.
And it takes a lot of humility, I think, to be open to sharing your people with people. And for the last 10 years, Angela has shared her people with me in huge rooms all across the world, literally. So I'm very grateful and very blessed there. But like this calendar year, 2025, by the end of the year, we would have done over 65 dates this year, which is like a lot. In the spring, we did 3 months on a tour bus where it's like I was gone for a week and a half, 2 weeks at a time, come home for like a 4-day break, and then go for like another 2 weeks on a tour bus. Rock star stuff, pretty awesome. Over the summer, we did a lot of flyaway, and right now we're last weekend was the first weekend of the fall run, which is like the last run of the year, where back on the tour bus. But the difference between the spring and now for me personally is that in this 8 week run that we're going to do, I will probably be on 12 flights in the 7 weeks because I'm basically going to do the weekends. So we do like this week, for example, we have a show on Thursday in Philadelphia. We Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday shows. Sunday night, I'll stay the night in whatever city that is and then get on the first flight back to San Diego. So I'll land in San Diego at like 9 o'clock on Monday and clock in as a dad Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Wednesday night, 10 o'clock, I'll fly back to the East Coast, and like I'm doing that every week. So like basically no days off for 2 months straight between my two 24-hour jobs that I currently hold. So it's pretty intense. The first week was like, okay, I was very exhausted, but I mean, we go back to like your first question. This is like, my mom had to work 3 part-time jobs to support 4 kids. I can sit on a plane and be uncomfortable for 8 weeks to enjoy a whole December off.
And to build a path and follow your passion. I mean, there's so much more to it. What you're showing your kids is the sacrifice of pursuing something that you believe within yourself. And sometimes that's really, really hard when they are like, where are you going? Or why are you leaving? I also travel for work or I'm just out at night for work producing things. And I balance that guilt of leaving them and not spending time with them with also like really taking the time to explain how lucky I feel that I am or how grateful I am that I'm in a position where I own my business and I'm pursuing my passion and within that job that I'm bringing people together and building community, and that's what you do too. And so I don't expect them to understand it now, and I know these times are so wildly precious because we don't get them back.
For sure.
But I also think that when you're away pursuing your passion and then you have that little sliver with them back, it's like you hold on to it in a different way than if you're day in and day out.
For sure.
It's harder.
For sure. And I think, this is personally for me, it's like I call people with regular jobs normies, A lot of normies try to make artists feel guilty for leaving. Like, don't you feel bad you have to go to... Don't you feel bad you're away, da-da-da-da-da? And it's like, not really. Like, I don't feel guilt. Like, I'm proud to be doing what I'm doing. When I'm out on the road, I literally feel zero guilt. I'm here representing myself and my family. I'm also this is how I earn money so that the kids can live in a house that my wife and I bought together. This is how I afford them the life that they have. And then when I'm not on the road, it's like I see my kids more than most parents see their kids. Like, I'm there when they wake up. I take them to school. I pick them up from school. I'm making dinner. I'm like, if I'm not on the road, it's like they see me, they touch me until they go to sleep. And then I go to work. Like, they don't even see me leave. It's like they wake up. They have no idea that I've, gone out and done my job and been home for the next day when they're awake.
Right.
So are there stretches where I'm gone? Yes. But it's like all positive except for it's all positive. I don't think it's negative. Like, they're excited when I get home. Did you bring me anything? Did you get us any
They're not
presents?
excited to see you. They just want the shit that you got.
Did you bring me some presents? But it's like, I don't think you should feel guilt. It's like you're establishing sort of their name and their brand through sort of what you do.
Yeah.
And like,
you're right about the normie perspective too.
They have no idea.
Know?
It's like
because
they work 9 to 5. They don't see their kids all day.
I know. I always think about like the New York parents who's like the nanny comes early so they can leave on the train from Connecticut to New York at 5 a.m. And then they get home at 7 a.m. and the kids are going to bed at 8. So they see their kid for maybe 1 hour a day.
Yep.
And nobody's bossing those people around. Not that I don't feel like any societal. It's just, I think also I'm a mom.
Yeah.
And so I also though play this sort of double role, right? Breadwinner, pursuer of large life, desirer of a bigger life.
Right.
And so it's been interesting to sort of like, pull apart the sort of masculine and feminine of that because my body gave them life and I looked them in the eye. It's a different feeling
for sure.
as a woman to leave.
Sure.
But I'm grateful that, for me, that the business keeps me here a lot as well.
Yeah.
And I always talk to them like, one day you're going to work for, me, or we're going to do this thing together. Because I was always in my dad's office and always listening to his phone calls and always watching him as an entrepreneur. And it's exciting that what you do, they get to see and experience, whether it's even just like seeing you up on stage or, I don't know how much they get to like really see it, but it's really like an exciting thing, I would imagine, for them to take in.
Yeah. Like my son Kalino is 6 and he's been to some shows. Like if the shows are local enough, he's old enough now where it's like, this will be fun. Let's go on this road trip. And, he hangs side stage and comes to, sound check and stuff. So he knows what I do.
That's really cool.
And then when the other kids get older too, it's like whatever sort of makes sense for where we're at in life, like they'll get to come to as much as we can afford, as much as they can afford with whatever school that they're in. But it's like, I just feel like normal people, I think it's their guilt from not being able to see their kids all day, that when they see that and also our jobs look fun, so it looks like we're just neglecting our
That's
families.
So true. And bitch, they are.
Yeah, exactly.
Just be real. We have a good damn time. We're not crying our way when we're away from those kids.
Yeah, I'm not sorry that
we're soaking up
the job
every
is fun, but it's like, I'm sorry your job sucks.
Yeah. Because I also think that it's like not just the ones who work a lot, it's also the ones who get to stay home and are like, well, that's from at least the woman's perspective. And so it's interesting because I have the best job ever. I get to throw amazing parties with amazing people to talk about incredible things. So, and have a really good time. But I guess that's sort of like also my social outlet. Therefore, I don't have guilt because I feel like I get my cup poured. I'm a very social person. So, enough about that. No guilt.
No guilt.
So
I just heard the word guilt and I was like, don't feel guilt, dude.
I'm glad we talked about it though.
Yeah.
So comedy can be such a mirror to society. What do you feel is your role as a comedian in today's wild, wild world?
That's a very good question. Very true. I feel like as comedians, we're the keepers of truth.
Yeah.
The truth is often said in jest, It's like one of my favorite quotes. I think it's up to us to ask the questions nobody wants to ask and give the perspective that nobody wants to see. Like we really shine the light on a bunch of the stuff we're hiding under the bed, kind of. But
man, is America's bed
oh my gosh! Oh yeah! But I also think it takes the right comedian to speak on, like, if we're speaking purely politically, it takes the right comedians that are going to do the right research to do those jokes, and it's definitely not my lane. And I don't think you can half-ass that stuff because that's almost worse,
Yes.
So I very purposefully sort of keep that stuff out, even though it's heavy on my mind and on my heart, but I won't do it justice. It's not sort of where my gift is at. So I choose to stay away. But I think this is definitely a moment where comedians need to step up, and we all play our part, like I might not be political, but I am here for you if you just want to get away from everything and just have an escape. That's sort of,
It's nice too.
yeah, that's my lane in the comedy world. And then I have friends like Alonzo Bowden who are like very well versed in what's going on politically, and he could literally, when I'm on the road with this guy, he could literally read the newspaper and then we'll have a conversation and I'm like, oh, this is like pretty funny, the stuff we're talking about, the points he's making, and then he'll go on stage and have a full 30 minutes based on
today's paper,
which is so hard. He's such master level comedian, but it's definitely not for me. Yeah, you got to be good to do it right, because you will definitely go to comedy clubs and see people who are not equipped trying.
Yeah.
Because comedy is a job where we're looking for a reaction.
Yeah.
And if you just mention some of the players' names in the political world, you can get reaction for sure. But are you getting a laugh on purpose? Are you making an actual point? Probably not.
Right. The goal is to resonate, and it has to be intelligent. Tell me more about knowing one's lane when it comes to comedy. Like, are you experimenting to find out, or is it kind of just in your soul and gut? As you said about your friend, it's like an intellectualism where he can quite literally interpret what he's read and turn that into gold, whereas yours is sort of this escapist. What is that process like? Like, how do you know your lane?
I don't think you don't know it for a while. It's said in comedy, it's like it takes you, as a comedian, it'll take you at least 5 years.
Wow.
5 to 7 years to find your voice as a comedian. So like to find your actual like point of view and like the actual way that you tell jokes, it takes a very long time.
Much like an author.
Yeah.
I mean, to really write the book and to get it where it needs to be would be similar.
For sure. And it's an evolution that happens in front of people. And you really, as the comedian, you don't feel it happening as it's happening. There are definitely sort of moments in your career. Personally, to me, there's like moments where you go from like hoping people like you just in general to hoping people laugh to knowing that they're going to sort of laugh right here to like not hoping, like I went from hoping people would think that I was funny to like knowing that I'm funny, and then knowing that people are going to laugh here for this long and they're going to laugh here for this long. And I think I could take on this subject right here from this specific little angle and it'll make sense and the message will be right. And that being able to be that precise with it has really only been in like the last 3 years, really, where it's like something could happen at pickup at my school, and I could take it literally from I just saw this crazy thing that's funny to me happen, and walk on stage with it with the confidence as if I've been telling it for years. Tell the story to strangers.
The process becomes more.
Yeah. And quick. It's less of like, when your comedy becomes less of you like trying to tell jokes and more of you just sort of telling your truth, is when the kind of the light bulb moment happens where you're like, oh, this is who I am. And these are my people. Like you could sort of see who your people are after the shows. It's like, it's actually pretty cool and super interesting how it happens. But
yeah, it's like an intimate moment where you're sharing storytelling and perspective over telling jokes that you then engage the audience, and you can connect to see who's really feeling that too, because there's so much eye contact as you're looking into the audience, maybe minus like a bright light on your face.
For sure.
But I also loved what you said about, in jest, and also, sort of like the role of certain kinds of artists, whether it's painting, music, comedy, to kind of usher us all through this wildly tumultuous time, and that in some ways it's not like it's your job to interpret it, but it's a tremendous honor, I would imagine, that these certain genres of creativity or creatives sort of help guide a culture through a moment that feels like a squeeze. So whether we're going out on a girls' night or a date night to just have that comic relief after bills are piling up and work is crazy and the pressure is on, to being able to experience a piece of art or cinematography, I guess my there's no question except kudos to being part of a group of humans on this earth right now that are creating art through such a frankly dark time.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, thank you. It's an honor to be the weekend. You know, that's like sort of, I have a couple of friends who are in bands, and I'm like, we text from time to time about like how, like, we are Saturday night, we are Friday night, we're the thing that people are like people need their release, they get their release on the weekend, and it's like we provide that. Yeah, like I haven't been out on a weekend in forever. It's like,
well,
I'm
you're
like,
out,
yeah, I'm like, yeah, but not to have fun. It's like I'm like I'm like a bartender almost. We just do industry weekend, you know.
Yeah.
Monday, Tuesday is like the best. That's the best time to be out, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. What advice would you give younger comics who want to tell their truth on stage but are afraid to be vulnerable? I mean, because we've talked today about the way that it's shifted from wanting to be liked and then wanting people to laugh into sort of this authentic storytelling.
I think the piece of advice that I got 15, 16 years ago is like the best piece of advice, which is like, just get on stage as much as you can, early and often, because we're in an art that is like a repetition game. It takes repetitions. You're going to need your 10,000 hours to get to any semblance of like a career. So get on stage everywhere. Get on stage in front of people that look like you, people that don't look like you, people who think like you, people who don't think like you, and treat every show, A, like it's like a research project, but B, like it's Madison Square Garden. You know what I mean? The easiest thing to do, and this is like another one of those little things that I just picked up on relatively early in my career, is like, the energy that you give will be received by the audience. Is like, the audience is all operating on like their lizard sort of brain. They're all like animals, you know? And it's like, just like dogs know when you're scared, the audience can tell when you're scared. And if they think you're scared, they're not going to believe anything that you say. So it's like, step one, get over that fear. Because even if you don't feel like you're scared, your body is telling people, I don't feel comfortable up here. And that makes the audience uncomfortable. So it doesn't matter how good your material is. If the crowd sees somebody that they now feel sorry for because he looks scared, your jokes aren't going to land. So it's repetitions. It takes repetitions to get over that. And that's from personal experience. Yeah, just get on stage.
Yeah.
Get on stage. It's like,
because you can write all you want and think you're funny to your friends all you want, but until you get up there and do the damn thing, you really can't move forward. Yeah,
that's another good one. Stop inviting your friends to your shows.
Oh, interesting.
That was like a very big jump in my just skill levels when I stopped at the beginning of stand-up, and I think probably any performance art. We're inviting all of our friends to every show. Every show is the most important show. Please be there. And it is the most important show because nobody knows you, and you need an audience. You need an audience for these specific art forms, right? But I noticed pretty early on, if your friends are coming to the shows, you're really getting a false sense of security. You don't really know if your jokes are funny. Because your friends are going to laugh whether it's funny or not, because they're there to support you and they love you.
And in some ways, I would feel like my performance to my friends, I would be way more nerve-wracked in some weird way than to a stranger that at the end, if I flubbed, I'd be like, well, fuck it. But in front of my friends, I'd be like, fuck.
Yeah.
It's like very different.
It's
So
super
I like
different.
your perspective that
It's
like you
super
don't want
different.
the false love and support,
Yeah.
whereas I would be like, I'm gonna fuck up in front of my
Oh,
friends
yeah.
so bad
Oh,
because
yeah.
I love them and I know them.
There's a lot of that. But as soon as you get over that,
Yeah.
that was another sort of milestone where I made a conscious decision. I'm going to post that I'm doing this show, but I'm not going to beg people to come. If you want to come, that's great.
I think that's
if
a life
you don't want to
perspective,
come, that's
period.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the best because now I literally don't care who's there.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. I'm going to do the show. I'm doing the best show that I can possibly do.
You're doing the
regardless.
Madison Square Garden every time.
Every time.
Yeah.
Every time.
Yeah.
So people like, I have family members that are like, why didn't you tell me you were at da-da-da-da-da? And it's like, I have a website. That's how everyone else finds out. Like, I'm past the level of like personal invites to the shows. It's like.
Yeah. I think that's also though a reflection of sort of like I'm calling like this beautiful second half of life as I'm 39 and I think we're around the same.
Yep.
Where it's just like a release of that like needing, wanting, and validation that is that first part of life. I want people to like me. I want to be part of a friend group. I want blah, blah, blah. And then there just becomes this gorgeous little baby shift where it's like, if you come, you come. Those who will find me will find me. Those who are meant for me are meant for me. There's no job that I'm going to lose because everything that's meant for me will come my way.
Yeah.
And it's just like a beautiful, I think it's so much of why I started this podcast too, because to be both wild in the passion and pursuit of a great life and to be wise enough to have major mistakes and just to kind of follow the right place because you filtered through so much. That's what this podcast is about. And that's what I think is important and why I wanted to have you on, because I think you have chosen one of the hardest, I think, careers to pursue. As you said, it's incredibly hard to break in and you've had this amazing opportunity, but it's beautiful because you know, you're proud of what you do and you're telling real stories and you're observing life and you're sharing that observation and perspective with people that bring them away for a vacation for a moment. You are their Saturday night. Yeah. And I think it's important for people to like understand like the details of the craft and the sacrifice and balancing parenthood and everything else that you do.
Yeah.
Okay, so at the time of us recording this, your special is coming out soon, but when people are watching, it will have already come out.
Yes.
Congrats.
Thank you. Thank you.
Why don't you tell us and everyone listening where they can find you, support you, see you, etc.
Okay, so my brand new special, Mal Hall, What Are We Doing Today, is currently streaming on YouTube. Hopefully, you know, this is a week after the special dropped, so hopefully it's got millions of views already.
Yes, it will.
It'll be very easy to find, but it is streaming on YouTube. Just search my name. It's also on Spotify, Pandora. It's available to rent or to buy on Amazon. And I forget the specific airlines, but there are some airlines where you'll be flying and you'll get to see my face and watch this awesome little special. There are clips currently running on my Instagram at Mal Hall. You can go check those out and share them with your friends and your people. And yeah, that's where you could find everything. I think tonight, the night this episode drops, is my weekend of shows at the Comedy Store in La Jolla.
Yes.
So I headline at the Comedy Store, which is my home club, the first comedy club I did comedy in. I'm grateful to get to headline there every sort of year and a half I'm there. And so this year it's Halloween weekend. So we have shows tonight, which is
Thursday,
October 30th.
Yep. And
then November 1st and 2nd, Saturday and Sunday, 4 shows. Every time I've headlined here, I've sold out every show except one. So the goal this year is like, let me get 4 sellouts.
Yes.
4 sellouts.
Get him to the sellout. Well, hopefully by the time this comes out, that shit will be sold out.
Yeah, for sure. And
the millions of followers will be watching this special.
Yes.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you for letting me be here. This is so cool.
Absolutely. We will end with something we ask everyone all the time, every time we film, which is what makes you feel the most wild and what makes you feel the most wise in your life right now?
I mean, the wildest thing going on in my life is, you know, being 41 years old and still pursuing this dream to be a comedian that is known in every household. But I'm wise enough to understand that, like, tonight's show might be the best show ever. So just enjoy sort of the moment that I'm in now and allow it to be awesome. Like, don't poo-poo now because your dreams are so big. It's like, as we get older, we appreciate time more. And so today is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tomorrow could be like pretty cool too, but today has to be awesome. So I'm wild for chasing my dreams, but I'm wise enough to be 10 toes down wherever I'm at.
Yeah.
So
That's beautiful.
yeah.
I just saw, I'll end with this, something that said something around the idea, which has been used, I'm sure, many times, but that, the man climbing to the top of the mountain only looks at the stairs in front of him, knowing that he'll get there, and I think that's the same approach and great advice too, because I think some of us that have really big visions are sort of patiently and impatiently waiting for that big moment. And I think with the 10 toes down, serving each one like a Madison Square Garden, I'm always going to keep that in the back of my brain, that each event, whether it's 15 people or whatever work we do,
for sure,
it's always Madison Square Garden.
For sure. And the people that are at those events will feel that way.
Yeah.
That's what makes that's why people remember my name after they leave the shows, because every show it's like, this is your show.
Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers.